Let's try that without mute. What's going on, guys, and welcome to the Nintendo Class vs. Crass podcast here on the Nintendo Enthusiast channel every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Times for you guys. I am one of your hosts, Jason Lapine, and joining me is, as usual, the Crassy, Sean Long. Sean, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good as far as rushing goes. You feeling better? You were sick last time, weren't you?
No, I was fine Thursday.
Well, Thursday. I don't count Thursday.
Yeah, I'm better.
That's good. So, yeah, I was rushing to get here. I have no idea what's in my coffee. I ran out
Is
of
your coffee
creamer.
yellow?
It does say YOLO.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You only live once, man. Yeah, it's I don't know what I poured in here because I couldn't find the sugar and I'm out of creamer, so I've got a very weird coffee for tonight. So I see some of you guys liked the song that we were playing in our intro. I'm going to try to link it to you guys. Let's see if I can send it over. It was a nice jazzy remix of a Zelda song. I think I have to just tweak the address here so it's .com. There you go. You can now listen to that Jazzy Zelda track whenever you like. For anyone who is listening to us on SoundCloud, simply just go to YouTube and type Zelda Jazz, and it's the first one. That's the one you want. All right, so last week we had some big news. We had some big events in the Nintendo world. Obviously, we had a Nintendo Direct, which brought Nintendo back to the forefront of gamers' mind just in time for the holiday season. Gave a little bit of breath for the 3DS and the Wii U in 2016. But we're not going to focus too much in the nitty-gritty details of that because we did do a special live Class vs. Crass right after the Nintendo Direct last Thursday. Now, if you didn't catch that, I'm hearing that YouTube hasn't released the episode into the subscriber feeds, which I don't know why. We're going to try and work that out. But if you are joining us and you want to see that, let's see if I can link that in the chat as well. Because, Sean, you were saying you didn't see it, right?
Yeah, it never showed up in
Let's
the sub feeds or anything.
All right, let's try this again. Yeah, so in that recap, Sean and I, we go up about an hour after the direct went on, um, and we break down everything and go through love it, like it, hate it, or meh with whatever audience we had there. One day Jason will get a real headset, but hey, this works, so why not? All right, so if you are joining us for the first time on this podcast, it's usually an hour long. We did start a little bit late today, so we'll go a little bit past 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We always start off with what have you been playing? Sean and I share what games we've been playing over the past week and talk about it. Then we go over some Nintendo headlines, what's been making Nintendo headlines in the past week. Then we have the Nintendo fan segment where we highlight some creative Nintendo fans in the Nintendo community. That can include cover artists, digital art, any kind of creative individuals. And then we go to the user questions and topics at the end, where anyone in the live chat can ask us questions, can toss up their thoughts, comments, anything. Sound good with you, Sean?
Yeah, 64-bit for life can't ask questions though. He's not allowed.
Okay, that's fair. You are the moderator now, Sean. You have the little wrench in there.
No, I'm not that mean.
All right, so enough of me. Sean, what have you been playing?
Rodea the Sky Soldier on 3DS, which I will probably start, possibly complete my review for that after the show tonight. And some game called Xenoblade or something. Xenoblade
God,
Chronicles
that's
X.
terrible.
Yeah, just pretty much those two.
Is that it? I thought you were playing more.
No, and that stupid Barbie game, but that's on the back burner for now.
Dude, priorities. You're supposed to get that Barbie game out.
I got to do Rodea first. I think people care a little bit more about Rodea than Barbie.
All right, so enough teasing. Are you able to share anything about Rodea, or is that under embargo? No, 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 that's
No,
out retail.
yeah, Rodea is out on retail. It's not good. It's 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 not a bad. This is gonna the thesis of my review is gonna be it's not a bad game. It's just very very flawed. I think the actual game itself. I think the actual game itself and the concept of the game is very good. It's basically almost like it feels a lot like Knights, which I love Knights. Knights is an amazing game. I even love the Wii version, but it just doesn't work. Like it doesn't work. The controls don't work. The graphics are very, very, very bad, and it's not good.
Just not enjoyable, huh?
No, I mean, and I could find moments, and like the frame rate is so bad. The frame rate is like Fallout 4 bad. Like it's that bad. Um, and
I
there's
see.
frame rate dips like Fallout 4 too. But maybe Rodeo will end up getting Game of the Year awards because Fallout sure is. Um,
Maybe that.
but
Maybe
yeah,
we could talk about that later. But I don't know. Have you played Fallout 4?
no,
No.
I've watched my buddies play it, and I've heard my buddies cry about it, and I've seen my buddies post videos about it. How it's a good game, great game, but it's a buggy mess, just like every other Bethesda game is. Like, and
Oh,
people just give it a pass. Well, I'll get into that later because I want to rant about that.
good, good.
Um,
So there you go, folks. You got a rant to look forward to tonight.
but yeah, it's not a bad game. It's just executed poorly, and I would even recommend buying it if you're a Knights fan when it's very 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 cheap, $10 or under, just to kind of experience it because there are moments of good stuff, but it's just bad.
hmm Now you were also playing for fun Xenoblade because you're not the one reviewing that for Nintendo enthusiasts.
Right. Which is great because I would never finish it. I don't know how Jono's gonna do it. I have accomplished literally next to nothing in that game, and I've been playing for 20 hours.
You've also accomplished next to nothing elsewhere
Shut
because
up!
of that game.
I did lots of stuff, but yeah, that Xenoblade Chronicles X is the game of the year. Period. End of discussion. End of discussion.
So where are you coming from saying that?
It's the best game I've played all year. It's one of the best games I've played in my lifetime. I liked Xenoblade Chronicles. If you read my review, um, lots of bugs with the game being so massive and open. That's not an excuse. um,
Go for it. Let it out,
okay,
man.
look, here's the deal. Okay, Xenoblade Chronicles X is a bigger game than Fallout 4. It's a bigger game than Grand Theft Auto 5. It's a bigger game than The Witcher. It's probably bigger than those three combined. I think it is bigger than those three combined.
hmm
Okay, all three of those games suffer from frame rate glitches, frame rate drops, and in-game glitches all the time. There are bugs in that game that essentially make your game unplayable. I have a friend who's playing the game right now who keeps having to restart certain segments because the game becomes unplayable. There's someone in this chat room, Adam Walker, has been playing Fallout 4, and he just posted on Twitter right before we went live that the game is unplayable at times, and he has to restart. Xenoblade Chronicles X has zero of these problems. I have had zero frame rate drops. I have had zero glitches. I have had zero bugs. There has been nothing in the game that it has impeded my process, that has affected my gameplay experience. None of that. So why is it an industry standard that, oh, well, if it's a big open world game, it can have bugs, it can have glitches, that's fine, we'll patch it later. Bullshit. It's because consumers accept that. You accept that by buying Fallout every year. You accept that by buying Oblivion and the Elder Scrolls series because they've always been bug-ridden messes. They've always been bug-ridden messes. And I'm not saying that they're bad games because they're not. I like Fallout 3. I liked Oblivion. I had a lot of fun with those games. I love dicking around in Grand Theft Auto. But to accept that these games are glitchy messes because they're an open world is a non-valid excuse anymore because Xenoblade is a bigger game and it has more going on and there's no glitches, there's nothing. There's no loading times. I can go from one segment of the map to another if I'm as long as I'm walking. If I do a fast travel, yes, there's going to be a small loading time, but it's seamless from the city to different portions of the city to the first world to anywhere else you want to go. There's no loading times. Stop accepting bullshit.
So you made a good point with consumers accept it and it's still getting that praise. But why do you think it's already being talked about as game of the year?
Fallout 4.
Fallout 4, yeah. It's already being talked about. It. That's not consumer. Is it consumers that's voting that? Or is it media outlets?
Because mainstream gaming media tells you that it's okay. That's why. That's why it's okay because mainstream gaming media gives these games nines all the time.
Yeah, and that's annoying. Why? Like I'm a little. I can't. I didn't play Fallout 4, so I can't really talk about it and defend it as being game of the year. But if it has all these bugs, and from some skeptics I heard that have played, there's like it's Fallout 3 with a few improvements. Like I haven't
Yeah,
played it, so I can't. Right?
yeah, that's what I mean.
So
JKB has been talking about it, and he's like, "Yeah, it's a good game, but it's not the be all end all." And that's the thing. Like, go on YouTube. It's simple. Like, just go on YouTube. You can see people playing the game on any platform: PC, PS4, Xbox One. There's frame rate glitches. There is times when the game comes to like a stall. There are bugs in the game. There are, and it's just acceptable.
so
Everyone accepts it.
do you think
I
game of
don't
the year
accept it.
is basically picked by the biggest marketing? Like Bethesda came out with a lot of buzz with Fallout 4 around
Bethesda always
E3.
gets the
Hmm?
buzz. Bethesda always gets the buzz, though.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, because they make good games. At its core, Fallout is a great series. At its core, Elder Scrolls is a great series. I'm not denying that. I'm not saying that they're not great games. They are, but they're buggy and there's issues throughout the game. So
But
to me, these games are sevens or eights.
even
Okay, that as a reviewer, you're supposed to be taking that into account. The technical aspects of a game. Don't base your whole review on the technical aspects of a game. But when it's that impactful and that frequent, you need to.
but
And if
even
you're not doing your job.
even if the game wasn't buggy, is it really game of the year? Like if everyone's saying it's a good game, it's more a Fallout 3 has to offer. To me, that's like saying, well, we have a new Assassin's Creed, it's game of the year. Like even if it didn't have bugs, do you think that it would? Do you,
I would say, I would say it could be it talked about. If Fallout 4 had no was had say 3/4 less bugs, 3/4 less frame rate issues,
Mhm.
and all that stuff, I could buy it as a contender, not a winner. The game of the year is Xenoblade Chronicles X.
But no one's talking
Xenoblade
about.
Chronicles X. You take Xenoblade Chronicles, okay, um,
Yep.
and you take that combat, you bring it to the HD world,
Hmm.
and you throw elements of Mass Effect in it, and then you have these. I haven't even gotten to the Skells yet, and like that's supposedly the most fun.
Oh, you haven't even
Like,
played with Skells?
no, they're much later in the game, dude. This game is massive.
I can't tell you how much I want to play right now. There was a question in the chat asking if you had downloaded the data packs yet,
Nope,
and if
don't need them.
yeah,
Jono downloaded them for his review.
right.
I did not download them because I see no need to. I don't see a need to eat up my hard drive space when the only loading times is when I fast travel or if you go into your barracks. There's a small loading time. It's not even bad. Like it's to the point of where if the data pack didn't exist, I wouldn't care. Like it's a couple seconds. It's nothing
So
major.
maybe it gets worse in later parts of the game.
I can't really see why because the hub city is your main area, and then like that's where you get missions. That's where you buy armor and whatnot, and then the world itself is all interconnected with zero loading times. So I don't really see where the packs are needed.
Hmm. Who knows? Maybe I really don't know. I mean, they
I really don't
obviously
know.
thought it was worth putting 10 gigabytes on your hard drive to make this game faster, so
Yeah,
it must gunk up at one point.
maybe. I mean, I'll see,
Mhm.
but so far, no. Jeffrey Smyers loading when you fast travel. Fast travel. No, I get, but trust me, dude. If you wanted to like run from the barrack to your mission, if it's a mission right outside in the main area outside of the barracks, you're talking at times 20, 30 minutes real time. It's that big. It's insane. It is
Mhm.
insane. And there's all these little hidden places, and there's all these little you do stuff like you find out about like there's like enemy camps and stuff, and like of course there's the whole you go to a certain section, kind of like you go on the wrong block in the hood, you get shot. Yeah, there's shit like that. Like you'll just be walking around, and then all of a sudden there'll be like a level 60 enemy, and you're like, all right, I'm dead. You know, I'm not going this way again.
Oh man, what was it that I was catching someone saying? Bear Hugger saying, "Hey, shout out to Bear Hugger." You know what? I forgot what it was. Oh yeah, freaking! I guess Game Explain beat us to doing a comparison video, so you don't need to do it. Freaking Game Explain, they're quick. They're hard to beat.
Well, yeah, because they can do it full time, bastards.
Yep.
Love you guys.
All right. That's it, right? That covers your week.
Yeah, that's.
How about you mute your Skype there?
Oh yeah, someone sent me a message. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, so while you were playing Xenoblade, I was hard at work with Mario Tennis.
Sucks to be you.
It does. It was a great week, though. It was a good return to form. I got to play a lot of games. If anybody missed my stream, I think it was Wednesday. I streamed a live preview of Mario Tennis for 30 minutes, and that was my genuine like first time loading it. The game is very hollow. Can I talk about? Yeah, yeah, it's on the stream. Um, there's not much content in it. Like Mario Tennis has good mechanics. It has a lot of in depth to it. It's not just hit a button to shoot the ball on the other side. That you can actually do a lot of spins on it, a lot of maneuvers. There's some strategy to it, but the game doesn't really give you any meat to like bite into. There's a few achievements. I forget how many there was. I think it was 24 or something. Like unlockables. There's that can keep you busy for maybe a few hours, and then if you don't have a friend, I don't see the reason to get Mario Tennis. Um, Played a bunch of indies after that stream. I got this isn't Nintendo related yet, but I got into Axiom Verge last night. I picked it up on Steam, and that's the game. I don't. It was published by Dan Edelman, right? Is that if I
Yeah,
recall
I think
correctly?
he worked on it.
He was like a publisher. He was part of marketing it. So it's a fantastic Metroidvania, and I know that I don't know if it's ever coming to the Wii U, but God, I hope so because it's so good. It controls so well, and like I just want to go play it right now. And I don't say that about any games. It's hard for me to find games, especially indie games, ironically enough, that make me want to go back and play them. But Axiom Verge is one of those. What else? Oh yeah, I got to play Typo Man. You said there was no embargo on that, right?
No, I sent you all the info, so if it
Oh,
wasn't in there, then there's nothing.
oh. Uh, well, I won't give my score, but I just finished reviewing Typo Man. That's going to be out either tonight or tomorrow on NintendoEnthusiast.com. It's one of the indies that Nintendo has been giving a lot of visibility to since E3. It was in the E3 Indie at Home package, whatever they called it. It's been brought around to PAX. So it's a puzzle platformer in which you play this little dude that moves letters around to form words, and creating certain words will have effects on the environment. So for example, you have rain falling in a pit, creating like a little lake. If you push a D in front of it, it writes the word drain, the water drains, and then you can cross the pit. Stuff like that.
That's kind of clever.
It's very clever. For a puzzle platformer, it's harder and harder, I feel, for developers to come up with original ideas to make their game not feel like something where you go, oh, that's like Mario, or oh, that's like Rayman. With Typo Man, it's really, oh, that's Typo Man. It doesn't.
Who's saying, "Oh, that's like Rayman" in 2015?
Jason Lapine does.
Fair enough.
Rayman Legends is unique, and I did compare another platformer to it, and I forget which one it was, but it's a compliment when I do that. So the mechanic is good. The controls are a bit limited for what I like. Like when you're lifting up a letter, you can't jump, but when you throw the letter after that, you can jump. So it's kind of tedious to move letters around and make them fall in the right place and push them. Like when you have to do that, that's how you do all the puzzles. For anyone who likes a challenge, Typo Man offers good challenges where you'll actually feel stumped at some times. And if you hate that, you can easily get a hint that'll tell you like dumbass, spell this word. and it lets you progress to the next thing. Um, there's some platforming and some enemies to kill, and it's just completely unfair because like if you're going into a puzzle platform, you're expecting to solve puzzles, and then the game suddenly just like, oh, you need to like have this split second reflexes and timing to get through the level, and it's just so unfair, and there's a lot of cheap deaths. So it's a good game, um, but there's a lot of room for improvement. So check out my review for the score and in depth, um, my in depth thoughts on it. It's not bad, but I wish I wish they would have done a few things different with it.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's good. Good is a fair thing to say. Um, so that's yeah, that covers everything we've been playing. So now we get into some Nintendo headlines. Oh shit, people can see my notes.
Ah, don't look.
Whoop. Well, we had the Nintendo Direct. What was the one thing? Okay, let's talk about what. Obviously, the big announcement of the Nintendo Direct last week was Cloud in Final Fantasy VII. And we're not going to push Sean's buttons. We all know he hates Cloud. He hates Final Fantasy VII. If you want to see him rant and cry about it, go see the Thursday recap. What we're going to talk today is that there's a lot of noise in the Nintendo community where people are saying, oh, that's proof that the Final Fantasy VII remake is coming to the NX. What do you think of that, Sean?
I hope it doesn't.
Because you don't like it?
Pretty much. It's just selfish reason. No, I mean, a business standpoint, it would be cool. It would be, I could get behind that, but I have zero interest in it. I have zero interest in the original game, which I can play on PlayStation 1 or a PlayStation 3 or a PlayStation 2 playing a PlayStation 1 disc or on Steam. So, I mean, and they're changing a bunch of stuff too. I don't know. Maybe the changes will make it better. Maybe they'll make Cloud less of a bitch. I doubt that, but yeah, I mean, business sense wise, cool. Game wise, I could give two shits.
Okay, but do you think people are reading too much into it? I don't think
Yes, of
my
course they are. Because where's my Street Fighter game with Ryu and Smash Brothers?
maybe it's coming to the NX.
Maybe, but why can't I have it in my on my Wii U?
Yeah.
Well, okay, I maybe, but I don't know. Ryu and Street Fighter and Smash doesn't bother me because at least we got a really, really, really good 3DS game.
Hmm.
But and I probably will buy the amiibo, and that would be cool if they could somehow make the amiibo do something in the 3DS game, even though the 3DS game was a launch title. Just do something. I don't even know what, but yeah, I don't care about Final Fantasy VII as me personally as a writer. It would make good headlines, and it would be cool to see it on the NX. So
Okay, now as a Nintendo enthusiast, if such a strong brand such as Final Fantasy VII did come to the NX, that would likely mean that we would also see the return of the whole Final Fantasy franchise, not just 7.
not necessarily
You don't think
because
so?
well, Final Fantasy isn't on Xbox platforms, but I believe the remake is coming to Xbox One.
I don't think it was confirmed for anywhere. The remake was not confirmed. I think it was just said coming first to PlayStation, if I remember right.
Yeah, so why would you say that if it's not coming to other platforms?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It is coming. It's a timed exclusive, is what it sounds like.
Right, so it's going to be on the Xbox One.
Right.
And Final Fantasy is not on the Xbox One. So I don't necessarily think so. I mean, could it? Yeah, I mean, that's a sign, but I don't think it's necessarily indicative because, like I said, it's not on Xbox One.
Right.
Final Fantasy's never been on Xbox platforms.
But do you think that that can push any kind of numbers? Can bring there once was a time, once upon a time, Final Fantasies would actually push systems. People
I
would.
think it could, especially if they, assuming it comes to the NX. I think it could because you have that stupid piece of plastic that you bundle with it and you give like two exclusive missions. And then right there, boom. That's moving units.
That's
Because
an.
people are that obsessed with Final Fantasy VII.
Now, do you think that in the next year we can see Microsoft and Sony coming up with their own kind of amiibo thing because they're going to start seeing what Nintendo's up to by luring third-party developers back with these amiibo. And eventually they're going to I would assume it would make sense that consumers are going to be more drawn to Nintendo versions once it's a level playing field because now you get a game that plays just as good, but you get a cool little piece of plastic with it.
No, because there's the reason Amiibo sell well is more of the franchises that Nintendo has, and then the fact that you know it's iconic characters. It's Mega Man. It's I mean you're getting a Cloud Amiibo with Smash Brothers, so I mean there's that.
Hmm.
Ryu from Street Fighter. I don't really see a way for Microsoft or Sony to replicate that because it like for as much as I necessarily don't care for Amiibo, like this nails it. Like you nailed it here. Now just make it do more for my games because like it's a collectible figure and it does things. I really can't think of a way to because I mean really when you think about it, the Connect and I assume you're talking about motion controls with Connect and PlayStation Move. Both of those were attempts at making it better. You see what I'm saying? It was to make the motion sensing better for games. I
Hmm.
don't really think of a way that's economical and that will sell to make something like this better.
Yeah, you got a good point. I can't think of how they
Like
could
I
make.
just don't see how you improve upon the formula. You have people like even if like what are you gonna do? Kratos and Master Chief and
Pretty much, yeah.
Nathan Drake, like
It would have to
those
be like a USB. Like I can't imagine them having much cross functionality that's
right. And I mean, you got to figure all the technology and shit that's in an amiibo. Like you could replicate what an amiibo does, but amiibo, let's face it, at the end of the day, is not about what it does; it's about what it looks like
right.
and how it sits on your shelf and how it's collectible. So, no, there's no way for them to replicate.
Right. This is where Nintendo really has the strong brand advantage.
Right.
The IP that can't be easily reproduced by the others. Now, another big piece of news, and I actually sorry that it took us this long to get to it, and we didn't even mention it on the last recap on Thursday. Minecraft coming to the Wii U. So that was a headline last week.
It
Uh,
was.
apparently, the PEGI rating system in Europe listed like not even trying to hide or anything. Minecraft Wii U edition, rated whatever. Uh, but it said that the release date was November 12th, which was last Thursday. The date has come and passed. There's no Minecraft Wii U. What's going on? What's that all about?
I don't know. It's a good question because um, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. I guess I guess we shouldn't talk about that aspect more so than the aspect of what the game could be because I can't really explain the date thing.
Just in general, like I'm confused. We I don't know. Nintendo enthusiasts many years ago reported that Minecraft was coming to the Wii U thanks to a source we had. And it turns out that source fell through, nothing happened, and we tainted our reputation in certain places that we no longer talk about. But now it looks like it might be true because
So we were right all along.
yeah, we were right all along. So what can we expect? Do you think we're gonna see like, and it wasn't in the direct? Do you think this is real? Do you think it can't be a typo? Do you think it was? Let's hear your thoughts.
Okay, well, we have a developer in the room who knows about this, and he says when you register for PEGI rating, you put an expected release date, and then
Oh,
the rating goes live on that release date. So that is where that comes from.
okay.
So that shines a little bit of insight. Thank you, Adam. Um, Now, as far as the game itself, because that's what I am more focused on. I think Griffin, I might be I might have to mute your ass. Nah, you're good. Um, as far as what the game does, I actually think it would be good because
Be wonderful.
uh, hmm?
It would be wonderful.
I would never play it because I don't really care about Minecraft. It's not my cup of tea. I don't have that kind of time. But the gamepad usage would make the game. And then you could, I mean, if you really wanted to go balls out, put amiibo support in it where, characters are, the Minecraft
Mm.
characters are based on, whatever amiibo you have. And, it prints money. So would it, would it be a hot seller? Yeah, it would. Could it move systems? Maybe. I mean, people are hardcore about their Minecraft, and if you did like a bundle or something with like an amiibo and a Wii U and a Minecraft, like
So Adam
you
is
know,
bringing in more insight into the PEGI rating system, saying that yeah, you put in a release date, and then when that date comes, that's when the rating gets posted publicly. So he's saying if you either forget to change the release date or you cancel the release and you didn't remove that release date, that's still going to go public. So it might not mean that we are getting Minecraft Wii U. It just means it was a thing that was talked about at a point in time.
well, I think it would be more than talked about, but yeah,
Planned for it got in development for sure, or
yeah.
planned.
So I don't know. It would be interesting from a business standpoint. Once again, from a personal standpoint,
I'm just trying to see if it's still there. But yeah, you're right. It would offer so much more on the Wii U. The gamepad would offer a whole new playing experience that you can't find anywhere else, like many games. And Minecraft is such an easy game that like it just makes sense. You have your whole inventory on your gamepad. Like when you look at the Minecraft screen, it screams, "Put me on the gamepad." And you're right. I didn't even think about the amiibo functionality, but you could toss in the whole like you could do so much with the amiibo too.
yeah. I mean, it sells itself.
Yeah. So when I look for Minecraft now in Peggy for Wii U, nothing is coming up.
The plot thickens.
It does. Hmm. So maybe it was a mistake. Who knows? Maybe it was a
Yeah,
leak.
yeah. Who knows?
Speculate. What do you guys think in the chat room? Would you guys get Minecraft on the Wii U? Are you over the Minecraft fad? And what do you think Nintendo could do in the Minecraft with Minecraft to make it unique and worth getting? Personally, I wouldn't buy it. I don't know why I bought Minecraft 6 months ago on my PC. Played it once with some people. I've never touched it again. I was like, why do people play this? It's so I don't know. It's so much work and there's no objective, and the objectives you make up for yourself are just like pretend and don't feel meaningful.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know. It's not a game that I really am into
Mm,
or could get into.
yeah. So another piece of news that came up. When was it? Was it today that was released the new Star Fox trailers in Japan? I know you
Yes.
covered that today. So we got some new trailers for Star Fox today. We also got some new footage from the Nintendo Direct, and if you go online, you can actually find some comparison images. There's one on my Twitter. If you go at Jason underscore Lepine, actually, I can probably just link that into here. Oh, it's probably gonna give me shit for it. There's a screenshot showing the difference between the R-Wing that we saw at E3 and the R-Wing seen during the Nintendo Direct. Looks quite different. You've seen it, Sean, right?
Oh yeah.
So you were right. When we recapped on Thursday, you said the graphics look better. I said I didn't really notice, but when you look at this, you can really see that there's a lot more detail in the lighting, the shaders. There's more textures to everything. So Star Fox is definitely getting a visual upgrade, which you've been calling all along. Um, do you think we're going to see more? Because now we have a release date too. It's coming out in April.
Yeah. I mean, they're always they're still working on the game. It's only November. I mean,
Mm,
let's say the game, if it comes out in April, they'll probably finish it February. So I mean, you still have a couple months to keep implementing stuff and keep improving stuff. And obviously, that's a high priority release. So it's not like it'll just get put on the back burner and no one's going to work on it. So
for sure. Now, until Star Fox releases, I'm trying to remember. On the Direct, we got a lot of news for the 3DS. The 3DS is getting a lot of life. Is the Wii U getting anything else in the early months of 2016 that we know, like
Mm,
January to March?
doesn't matter. Everyone needs to just play Xenoblade that whole time because you won't finish it.
No?
It's like hundreds of hours.
Good point. A lot of people, though, will be marathoning that during the holidays.
Yeah. So I mean, and there's Devil's Third at the end of December, and then there's new Smash content that will probably come out around then. So I mean, usually you don't see many releases in the spring, anyways.
Right, which is a shame. Speaking, you reminded me about the Smash content. So we were told that next month is the final uh, wave of content coming to Smash Brothers. Do you still play Smash Brothers? Do you have all the DLC? Do you think it's time to put the nail in the coffin, or
I mean, tons of people still play it. I do not because it's not a game that I'm like super into. Like I enjoy it, but I'm a casual player as opposed to like a hardcore fanatic. The DLC is good because of it adds renewed interest to the game. I mean, let's look at what that stupid Cloud did.
I'm
With the
buying it.
game,
I'm buying it because of Stupid Cloud.
I know you are. See, so it's moving units. Yeah, I mean, yes, it is. It is time to to put the final characters in and then move on and just if you want to do an update, if there's glitches or something, that's cool. But yeah, it's time to move on to other projects. But it's had a good it's had content for a year.
Yeah. So what do you think we're gonna get next month? Do you have any
Shovel
kind of expected one? Like
Shovel Knight.
as a total meat and
Oh,
potatoes. Just like a
um,
count, even if you don't.
how many characters?
In general, like character stages, anything extra.
I think you'll get I think you'll get three characters, maybe five stages.
Seems fair.
And Shovel Knight will be one of them.
Shovel Knight
Let's
for
face
sure.
it,
Worst kept
it's
secret.
it's the worst kept secret ever.
Reason I say that is when I pushed a developer and asked, "Hey, why don't you make an amiibo for your game?" They said, "Well, we would need functionality with other games on the system." And I said, "Is that a requirement for an amiibo?" And that's when they kind of just stopped talking to me. So we know that there's a Shovel Knight amiibo. It does something for Shovel Knight. What else does it do? Well, if it does Smash, bam, there's the answer.
Exactly. Sorry.
And do expect that after that Smash Direct, we will have another Love It, Like It, Hate It, Meh episode soon after, if possible, if Sean's not working. All right. Now at this part, we go into the Nintendo fan highlight. So we're going to start with mine, Sean, because I've already got mine ready and yours is going to take some work. So in this segment of Class vs. Crash, Sean goes and picks a Nintendo fan. I pick a Nintendo fan. We highlight what they do and why you guys should go and check them out and introduce them. So the first one is, oh shoot, where did I put them?
I don't know.
I don't know. Let's try this screen. It's not that screen. Is it this screen? Maybe it's this screen. All right, so I'm going to be featuring an artist today. Nope, it's not that screen. Not that screen. Here she is. So this artist obviously makes some awesome Zelda art, and given that we are getting the new Twilight Princess HD game, I felt that this was appropriate for today's episode. So the artist, you can find her. I assume it's a her or a she. Uh,
They.
you can find them on DeviantArt. Their name is Alderion/AL, and I will type that in the chat. ALDERION-AL if you want to go and check out more of their work. But yeah, they have this. They love drawing Zelda, Twilight Princess version Zelda specifically, and you got some art of Midna in there too. The ones I picked here showcasing for you guys are some of my favorites. I just love it. Looks really cool. Can you see it yet, Sean?
I don't even have the stream
Oh,
up.
you don't have the YouTube link up.
Oh, just the chat.
Yeah, so one is just
Yeah, it
Zelda
looks
being a badass, and the other one it's called Zelda Puppet, and it has Ganon pretty much controlling Zelda, it seems. So it looks really good.
very nice.
Very nice. Okay, now let's try and get your fan up. So do lots of talking, and I'm gonna try and get this going.
All right, so there's this dude named Pack and Sack Dave. Um, I will type his name out in the chat room.
I'm gonna get a video going.
And basically, what Pack and Sack Dave does is he does two different things. He basically takes NES games and either improves them or makes some new experiences. So, for example,
Ha! Found a cheat.
okay, great. Um, he just did a Back to the Future update. Now, if you remember Back to the Future on the NES, you know, Marty was in a black T-shirt and jeans, and it didn't make any sense. So what he did was he replaced the sprite and put the traditional hat and the shirt on it and all that stuff, and did some different music and fixed some things in the game. On the flip side, he also creates like new games. So what you're gonna see first is
God of War. That's what's playing.
God of War for the NES, and basically what he did with that is he took Rygar for the NES, replaced all of the sprites of the characters, put Kratos in the game, changed the title screen, all sorts of fun stuff. So it looks and feels like a new game. And if you go to his website, which is I don't remember the name of his website. It's like Pack and Sack Dave at Weebly, I think. Or if you just type in Google Pack and Sack Dave. So Google Pack and Sack Dave, it'll bring you to his website. You could download all of the ROMs for free. He also does limited physical releases for some games, like the second one. But this first one that we're going to show
Jason and
is
Freddy's playing now.
Oh, Freddy's playing now? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is Freddy versus Jason, which is a Friday the 13th hack, where he basically makes it, Freddy versus Jason. So it was pretty cool how he did that. I like that one. That one actually got a physical release. It was pretty popular in the retro community. So very cool game.
So what did they do different in the Jason versus Freddy? You play as Jason?
Yeah.
And in the original, who did you played as one of the
Camper.
victims?
We played as a camper avoiding Jason.
Oh, okay, so now you're actually killing the campers. Okay.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, he does really, really crazy work. He does wrestling games, and he made like an all new Mega Man game and stuff. There is a Final Fantasy NES game.
There's also oh no, it was a trailer. I saw it was a Final Fantasy 13 Devolve trailer, and it looked good. I'm like, oh my god, I actually want to play this one. Because I did play Final Fantasy 13, did not really like anything after 10 in the Final Fantasy world. So there are some good artists, guys. If you have any Nintendo artists or anyone who's skilled in the Nintendo community and you want them highlighted here on Class vs. Crass, send it to either Sean or myself you can find us on Twitter, you can send us a message here on YouTube, you can send it to me at my email, jason@enthusiastgaming. We also have all of our info down there, our Nintendo network IDs, as well as Twitter handles. So send us any artists that you think or that you would like to get a little bit of light on what they do, and we'll put them up in a future episode. All right, so now this is the last segment of the show, and this is where we bring your opinions, your thoughts to the forefront and have a discussion with you guys. So what are your topics? What are your questions? If you have any questions, toss them up. Sean and I will pick them up and bounce them up here for you guys. Also, please share your thoughts on any topics that were discussed today, which were any of the games we're playing, Smash content, Cloud in Smash, Final Fantasy VII coming to NX, Minecraft Wii U, Star Fox graphics, or anything at all that you saw in the Nintendo Direct. Shout them out in the chat box, chat room, and we'll take it from there. Sean, you monitoring?
Yeah, not much yet.
All right. Also, I hope we see Linkle in Smash, but I doubt that will happen.
Oh God, no Linkle.
What do you have against Linkle? Just because she dresses like Link?
It's just weird.
It's not weird. She is her own character.
I guess.
The name is stupid. It's like if they would have created a Cloudette for Final Fantasy VII. Although they kind of did.
Who do you want in Smash, and who do you think won the ballot? I want Simon Belmont, but he's not in. And Shovel Knight won the ballot.
Yeah, well, Shovel Knight got some love for sure. Do you think Cloud came from the ballot? Or do you think that was just an agreement with
No,
Nintendo?
I don't think Cloud came from the ballot. I think that was just a behind the scenes things.
Did any of you celebrate Sonic 06's 9-year birthday? Absolutely not.
I poured out a 40 for the corpse of Sonic.
What is this? Shelfie is saying no to Linkle in Smash?
Thank you, Shelfie. I've always liked you.
What is wrong with Linkle? Tell me. She's got her own moves, her own weapons. Eventually, she'll get her own identity. Her name is weird, though.
What's your say on the Wii U? It's cool. I like it. It has Xenoblade Chronicles X, which is the best game of the year and one of the best games I've played all year. How hyped are you for Zelda Wii U? I'm pretty hyped, but um, yeah, we haven't seen really anything. Like, is it going to be a good game? Of course it is, but you know, I
Do you think it's
my
going to
hype will
be.
increase as I see more of the game, like running around on a Epona or what essentially is Epona,
Yeah.
in a field and stuff like.
They're already
Aside,
hinting at a little bit of things. If you look at like the trailer dissections, they're showing a lot how the shield is very different, has a
okay,
Skyward.
game explain,
Huh?
trailer analysis.
What?
That's all. That's one of their main things. They take a trailer and they like analyze it or something. I think we need to steal that idea
You
because it gets a
you
lot of
you know we would too if we were fast enough.
if we had time enough.
No, if we were
Um,
fast enough and had the time.
yeah, 64-bit for life has a bagel. We love bagels on this show.
Good for him. Is Mario Galaxy a thing? How is it not a thing?
Yeah, it's a.
It's
Oh,
a.
you mean for like the NX? Probably.
There was a mention in an interview I think where they were saying they wanted to either they wanted to go back to the Mario Galaxy franchise or they wanted something similar to it. Can't remember the quote exactly.
What happened with the Nintendo Creators Program? I'm not sure.
It died. I don't
Um,
know. I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
yeah, I don't know either. How does Xenoblade Chronicles X hold up to the original in the story department? I
Hmm.
really haven't played much of the story missions. Like I said, I'm just kind of dicking around in the world itself, enjoying it, taking my time, kind of.
I'm a little
But
bit.
like, go ahead.
I'm a bit worried about the story because in the original Xenoblade, the like Shulk, he was actually interesting. They talked, they interacted with each other, whereas the protagonist in this new one is silent, isn't he? Or
Yeah,
her?
it's you.
What do you mean it's you?
You create the protagonist.
Right. So it's
But
more
your
like a
your
la Zelda.
your characters that are with you are the ones creating the story,
Right.
and you're the one going along with
They
it.
don't
I
look
think
interesting from the trailer though. Am I wrong?
I mean, they're interesting enough to me. See, I didn't give a shit about Xenoblade's story. I liked Xenoblade because I liked the gameplay.
Yeah.
I didn't care for all that other stuff.
I'm really
Okay,
curious
now
for you to get to the scales. I want to know what that's like.
oh, dude, it's gonna be so awesome. I hope I get there before the 19th, and I'll just live stream that. What indie game would you like to see ported to the 3DS that was not put on 3DS yet? Connor with a real question. Amazing. Um, I don't know.
What was the question?
What
What?
indie game do you want to see ported to the 3DS that hasn't been put on the 3DS yet?
Hmm.
It's a tough question.
Axiom Verge.
Okay, I'll give you that. When is the NX coming? End of 2016.
You still believe that after what we saw last week?
Yes.
Possibly.
All right, we got to go fast here. If you could go back in time, would you like to play the N64 again? I can go downstairs and play the N64 again, and I might after the show. Should Nintendo reinvent the Nintendo seal of approval since AA games are buggy as F and are still Game of the Year winning? The Nintendo seal of approval was bullshit to begin with.
Just
There
like
was so many bad Nintendo games. Like, I don't understand why people kind of hang their hat on that.
there
They all have
was
the Nintendo seal of approval.
there were so many bad games that a guy could actually make an entire original web series around it.
Exactly. And, um, Is Nintendo Enthusiast hiring? Kind of, not really, sort of.
Send all your applications to Sir Nintendo with a zero at ymail.com.
That's not right. Sorry, Nintendo. There's no zero.
Oh, damn.
There's only a zero on my Nintendo Network ID because I messed it up.
Yeah, Sir Nintendo. Okay.
I want to know more about Fast Racing Neo. Just buy it. It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be very good, and it's gonna be good value too.
Do you think that Sonic Boom, Fire, and Ice is going to be good?
Uh,
No.
you don't think they would learn their lesson?
No.
You think it's another milk?
It's Sega.
Is it still Sega developing that, or is it Sanzaru Games?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's
It
not going to
does
be.
matter because
It's a Sonic game in 2016.
I
It's not
met
going to be.
I met the lead developer of Sanzaru Games, and the guy I knew and understood Sonic, and he was a classic Sonic fan. I was like, oh my god, Sonic Boom is in good hands.
So then what happened?
And then it was terrible. So I don't know what happened, but I had faith in that guy, and I still do to this day. So I think there were things outside of his control playing there.
What changes would you want to see in Dragon Quest games coming to the 3DS? None.
Good question.
I don't need them. Just bring them here fast as possible.
Were there any changes in the other ports? You said you had 5 and 9,
Uh, oh yeah, they were redone.
like graphic
Like,
overall.
yeah, like you know how Final Fantasy 3 was
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
DS.
yeah.
The DS was like the best RPG system ever.
Hmm.
Where else are you gonna get Chrono Trigger, like Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest? Like that system was a freaking
Do you
beast.
think? Do you guys think Square and Nintendo are going to work again like Mario RPG? I think it's very possible, especially after putting my Wii 100 list together.
It's
Late in the
all based on money.
hmm But late in the Wii's life cycle, Square and Nintendo partnered up to make Fortune Street.
Yeah, and it did a lot of good for the Wii U. Thoughts on Winback? Winback's an underrated game. The first one, the second one was poo poo.
Which one?
If we had the opportunity, what console would you make for Nintendo? I would make this.
He's got blueprints, folks.
It would be called the Virtual Boy 2
Oh, good.
because everyone says that virtual reality is the future, and it would use the same exoskeleton because this exoskeleton is beautiful, and basically it would just be another Virtual Boy.
Here's a good
Yeah,
question.
I
Do you
would sink
think?
the company and get fired.
Yes, you would. Do you think the Direct should have showed more new original games? Asks DevBird1. My question to you is, how do you feel about Nintendo today as you did 7 days ago? I think we have a lot more confidence in Nintendo. Could they have? I would have loved to see more new original games, but I think that they came back and put some confidence in the consumer. And if that's what they set out to do, they succeeded.
Yeah, I don't really think that direct was going to necessarily ever be about what's coming up. It was more about um, what is coming. That
Yeah.
didn't make sense.
No.
In the immediate future. There we go.
Yeah, keeping it close. Although no, 2 years ago we got Hyrule Warriors announced in the December Direct, and that was a fall release.
True.
Where is it? I lost it. Will you guys get Mario and Luigi Paper Jam? Uh, like for review? We'll get it for review, but would I get it? Would I be excited for it? They're two great series. Matching them up I can't imagine it being worse. So I'm excited for it. I'll probably pick it up.
Do you think the NX needs to be a JRPG console?
No,
No.
no.
I mean, I don't think JRPGs move systems like they used to. I think the NX needs to be focused on more Western stuff. And I'm not saying all Western stuff, I'm saying more Western stuff because right now the Wii U has little to no Western stuff.
Hmm. And just a little bit
What
more diversity outside of the cartoony look games.
right. Games like Xenoblade Chronicles X should be the standard, not the outcast. Period. For the NX. The outcast should be
They shouldn't be outcast.
Nintendo.
No, they should be even.
Nintendo. Go ahead.
They should be even. The kiddie looking games like Yoshi's Woolly World and Xenoblade, they should be even. Neither should be outcast.
Oh, we forgot to talk about Yoshi Woolly World outselling Uncharted Collection. Oh, that makes me laugh.
That doesn't make
That's
sense
all
to
I
me.
want to say on it. Do you think Robin Williams will be in Zelda Wii U? I maybe as like a statue or something, kind of like a hint towards him, but
I don't
that's
think
it.
he'll be there at all.
I hope there's not any more than that. Um, are Western created characters ignored for the ballot? I assume you're talking about the Smash ballot, and I would say no. It's just that a lot of Nintendo a lot of current Nintendo owners and fans um, are not big into Western games because Western games don't exist on their platform.
Hmm,
Um,
valid.
what was it? Do you think Xenoblade Chronicles X will get Game of the Year at the Game Awards? No, it's not even on the ballot, and that's why everyone.
What's
I
up
keep
with
seeing.
that? What is up with that?
I keep seeing all. It was. They said it released too late. I keep seeing all these people say, "Oh, such and such is the Game of the Year. This is the Game of the Year," and I'm like, "No, the Game of the Year is not out yet to the public." I'm sorry. Is the year not 12 months? Like,
Yeah, so
uh,
like would Xenoblade fall into next year's
no, they'll just
award,
ignore
or
it.
yeah, it just gets dropped. It falls in the void.
Yeah, pretty
Bullshit.
much.
It's bullshit. I didn't say Yoshi's Woolly World is for kids. I said the look was kiddie. The game, I enjoy the game. I feel that there's the right amount of challenge in it. I'm just saying the visual style of Nintendo games are very warm, very bright, and that's fine. I love that, but it's okay to have some diversity.
Right. And I'm all for that as well.
Hmm.
Because and it that's kind of why I think people downplay the strengths of the Wii U because Nintendo is the only ones creating really essentially creating games for the system. And outside of a game like Bayonetta 2, you haven't had an experience built from the ground up for the Wii U that emphasizes a darker tone, a more realistic tone. But when you take a game like Bayonetta 2 and you take a game like Xenoblade, and like those games show the power of the system, you just never really see them because
You don't appreciate. You do see it
you see it, but you know it's just not the standard. And I would like that to be more commonplace.
for sure. Because like a game like Yoshi's Woolly World, creating that wool, that texture, that realistic wool look, they could have never have done that on the Wii, or I don't know even if they could have done it as well on the PS3 or Xbox 360.
Yeah, I mean, there's little nuances that the average, even I'll even say Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, those fur physics, the rock solid frame rate. You got to factor in frame rate too, and all that kind of stuff. That's a big part of graphics. It's just the part that's underappreciated because essentially textures are what get praised, even if they move at 5 frames a second. Um, but yeah.
Will you be
um,
playing the Devil's Third multiplayer often, Sean?
If it's good, it looks fun. I'm going into Devil's Third with an open mind. I'm just trying to have some fun. I've actually had people send me personally videos of them playing the game, and it looks fun. I mean, they're hacking and slashing, and bodies are flying all over the place, and blood is spurting out, and
Hey,
you
someone's
know,
bringing up Ubisoft, or sorry, Adam's bringing up Ubisoft in the chat, which reminded me I was out shopping yesterday at Walmart of all places, and I was going through like the Xbox One section, the PlayStation 4 section, the Wii U section, and then there was like another section. I was like, oh, what's this? There's games from every system, and then I backed up, and it was a Ubisoft section dedicated to only Ubisoft games, and it was nearly as big as the Wii U section. Have any of you seen this before in stores where you live? Because this was the first time I saw Ubisoft have its own little place. You like that, Sean?
no, I don't. I think it's stupid.
Like, are we gonna see like an Activision and a Warner Brothers booth soon?
It's all based
Section.
on money,
I don't like. Are they just paying Walmart more to have that?
probably.
Hmm. Are we gonna see that in GameStops? That would be interesting.
Violent but a bit ridiculous. But I mean, some of those games, like look at No More Heroes, like Mad World, Manhunt. Like sometimes over the top violence is fun. No,
Eh,
you're not going to touch me in Devil's Third. I'm going to be a beast. I'm going to be a beast because I'm going to be like one of the only people playing it. And that's
Are you
I don't
actually
even.
good at first-person shooters? It's funny because I've actually never seen you play. Uh,
Yeah, dude, we used to play Call of Duty. What were they called? The Ghosts and Blops 2 on the Wii U. I used to play with the forum guys actually when I first because they played a lot and we would just dude we would wreck people,
huh.
just absolutely wreck people. Those were fun times.
Love it. James Mass saying Ubisoft section requires you to pay to enter,
Yes, that would be
and then EA charges you for every title that you look at.
sounds about right.
All right, so we're going to be wrapping this up. Sean, did you have any last thoughts, question, comments on this section of the podcast?
No,
All
I was
right.
just gonna plug stuff.
All right. So you were gonna what?
I was gonna plug stuff.
Yeah. We're gonna do the plugging now.
Right.
So I just want to thank everyone for joining us on tonight's Nintendo Enthusiast Class vs. Crass episode. Nippleman doubted us. He said, "How can you guys really talk an hour about Nintendo stuff after having a 1 hour after the direct?" Bam! That's how you do it. So last week on our Nintendo Enthusiast YouTube channel was a very busy week. We had a lot of content come out. So if you haven't seen any of our shows, I do encourage you to go check them out. There's something for everyone. We have Sean's Nintendo Week in Review, which is basically Sean doing the same thing he does here, but he wraps up the news for you so that you don't have to go and follow all these news sites. Gives you the cream of the crop. We had the Mario Tennis Ultra Smash preview. Zero showed up with a new YYY. Speaking of guest hosts, Shelfie's in the room, and hopefully, she said she was working on a new Crafty Koopa, so that might be coming out soon. We had, of course, the Class vs. Crass Nintendo Direct recap. I'm going to look into why that's not being pushed out to subscriber feeds. Hopefully, I can do something about it. We had our announcement reaction, was a fun little skit Sean and I did, which you should check. We went a little crazy in that one. There was, of course, an Indie Corner episode and a Nintendo Numbers, which is like a financial show that plays with numbers and makes cool observations. Sean, you can plug your stuff.
Basically, we blew our load last week. I'm working on a project or two. There's one that it's just delayed, but I'm working on a time sensitive project that I need to get to work on with one of the guys that helped put together the awesome 2016 upcoming Wii U game video. So will probably look good. I'm probably gonna make him do most of the work, and I'll just bring personality. Um,
Poor
I'm
guy.
doing a live stream this week on the 19th. I don't know what day that is. I just know that that's when the live stream embargo lifts for Xenoblade Chronicles X. So you will have to come check that out. It's going to be right here on the Nintendo Enthusiast YouTube channel. And I'm going to have go read my Xenoblade preview on the website, nintendoenthusiast.com. And what else? Rodea, the Sky Soldier is going to be written tonight. Barbie will be sometime this week. I'm going to try to have fun with that review. It'll be a bit tongue in cheek. And of course, there'll be news and interviews and other stuff. I need to do an interview with the Mars Harpoon guy. I think he's actually in the room tonight. I've been meaning to get up with him, but been under the weather. And of course, if you like retro games, hi, look at me. That it fixed high for me. It turned it into Lee. Yeah, I'm doing a little giveaway on the channel to commemorate the success of the channel. You can get a GameCube and a couple games, including Wind Waker. So if you're interested in that, check out that channel. Watch the first video that pops up. It's got all the details, and that's about it.
Lots of stuff. And yeah, that's about it for this week. What's there to look forward to? I don't know. We'll probably come up with something. I've got a lot of content on the fly. So we'll see you guys next week. And as always, as I like to say, keep it classy, or as Sean likes to say,
Keep it crassy.